everyone, I'm Chef Danielle Sepsy and this is Gnome at Home. Today I'm giving you my chocolate chip cookie secrets. This is a big deal, guys. I'm giving you all the tips and tricks to making the most soft, chewy, amazing chocolate chip cookies. Let's get to it. First, we're gonna start with my favorite ingredient of all time, butter, of course. We've got 1 stick of unsalted butter. I usually bake with unsalted butter just so I can control the amount of salt that goes into my recipe. I've got some dark brown sugar, which is gonna bring that nice caramelized flavor, wonderful molasses flavor, and also a nice chew. And then I have some white granulated sugar. And we're just gonna beat this together until it's light and fluffy. When you're making chocolate chip cookies, very important to beat your sugar and butter quite a bit. You want it nice and light and fluffy. And then when you add your dry ingredients later on, that's when you just want to mix until it's incorporated, and I'll show you that later on. But first, let's get this nice and creamy. We're also going to add at this point our extract. So I always use pure vanilla extract just so I get a beautiful, warm, sweet, aromatic vanilla flavor. So I have a teaspoon of vanilla extract going in there. And why I'm adding it now is actually your flavoring you want to put with your fat, because it actually brings the flavor out even more. Next is my secret ingredient, which maybe is something you have in your pantry all the time. I know I do. And it's something that's so retro, old school American that we know and love, and it's Jello instant vanilla pudding. This is my secret to making the chewiest, most delicious, soft chocolate chip cookie that will stay soft for days and days to come. It never gets hard. Just 1/3 of a cup of that vanilla instant pudding mix goes right in with our butter, sugar, and vanilla. Now you want to incorporate this just until it's combined and it looks nice and creamy and smooth. Next, we need our egg. I have 1 large egg that's room temperature here, and that will help with the cookie's overall texture and just kind of bind the dough together, make sure everything holds nicely, and also adds a nice richness to the dough and helps with the leavening as well. Make sure we get a little bit of a rise on those cookies. So let's just mix these together. Here's the other secret to my extra soft and chewy chocolate chip cookies, and that is cake flour. So in your baking aisle, you'll find all different kinds of flour, but you'll find cake flour that's usually in a box. I love to use Swan brand, it's in a red box. It's the one that is not self-rising. There's self-rising cake flour and regular. We just want regular here. And this is 1 1/4 cups. Also, your flour ratio comes into play when making a really nice, soft, chewy chocolate chip cookie. If you put more flour, you're gonna get a cakier and maybe drier cookie. So you have to make sure your ratio is right. To that, I'm going to add some salt. I always bake with fine table salt. I think that the flavor is more pronounced. I think that it really gives you that pop that you need in any baked good recipe. And also texturally, it's finer, so it really distributes evenly throughout the dough. And then I have baking soda. And then we'll put in our fun fixings in a minute. And this is where you can be fun and creative. You can put whatever you like. You love sprinkles, throw sprinkles. Do you want walnuts? Put walnuts. I'm going with chocolate chips today, but I'll show you another tip. So first, let's put our dry ingredients right into the butter, sugar, egg mixture, and I'm going to mix this by hand because this is another tip. You don't want to over-mix your cookie dough. If you over-mix your cookie dough, that also causes the glutens to develop. And when the gluten in the flour starts to develop, then you get a denser, less favorable texture. And just mix until everything is combined. So the thicker the dough, the better as well when it comes to having a thicker chocolate chip cookie. And that also has to do with the butter temperature. The butter we used was just softened. If your butter was melted, you're going to have a looser batter and it's going to spread out more in the oven. So today I'm using a 1/2 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips, which just have like a really beautiful, rich cocoa flavor, of course. And then I have some milk chocolate chips. Milk chocolate chips have more cocoa butter in them and less pure cocoa, so they have a creamier, richer texture. So you're really gonna get those pockets of super gooey melted chocolate in every bite of this cookie. And so that's why I like to do a blend. One's for flavor, one's for texture. Mix this all together. Again, we're not over mixing. We're just getting it combined. What's awesome about this recipe too is you can actually scoop the cookie balls and put them on a tray and pop them in your freezer. And once they're set, throw them in a plastic bag and you can have ready to bake cookies all year round. Ready to scoop our cookie dough. I have my parchment lined tray and I've got a cookie scoop. I believe this is about 1.5 tablespoons size, but you can really do whatever size you'd like here, but the baking time will fluctuate based on your size. So I'm doing a nice heaping scoop here and I'm not pressing them down. I'm leaving them nice, tall blobs of dough. So now I'll put these in a 350-degree oven. I have a convection oven. So if you're using a regular bake setting on an oven, you might want to up the temperature a little bit, maybe around 370 or so. This way, your cookies stay nice and thick as well. The higher the temperature, that means that the heat is really gonna lock that dough in and bake them from the outside first. And these will bake about 8 to 10 minutes. You wanna check on them. You just want them to be a little bit golden and just set. We don't wanna overcook them either, so we get that perfect gooey chew. While the cookies are in the oven, be sure to click subscribe below if you haven't already, and also click the bell if you'd like to be alerted when I post other recipes for you guys to cook along with me. If you have some secrets about your chocolate chip cookies that you want to share with me, just comment down below. I'd love to check it out. I took my cookies out of the oven. They baked for about 12 minutes in the end. Every day is different when it comes to baking. Your environment has a lot to do with how your baked goods will come out. So just check on them. After 10 minutes, I would check on them. You don't want to overbake them, but you just want to make sure they're golden brown on the outside. The bottoms are nice and golden as well. So we've got the semi-sweet chocolate and the milk chocolate chips, just so melty and wonderful. The different flavor profiles there are just perfect. Let's give it a try. When people ask me what my favorite food is, it's chocolate chip cookies. I could eat chocolate chip cookies morning till night, any day, 24/7. They are just so soft. There's a little bit of a saltiness too, which I love in baked goods, just a nice balance of salty and sweet. And then you'll see, when these cool, they're still going to be as perfect as when they first came out of the oven. Super soft, super rich. You don't have to worry about stressing that they're going to get stale in a few days. Just put them in a container or a tin and you'll be able to have amazing cookies all week long. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. My name is Chef Danielle Sepsy. This is Gnome at Home. Be sure to check out the recipe below and follow me on Instagram at Chef Danielle Sepsy. Thanks for joining me. Happy baking!